What if the Joker was behind the Jedi temple bombing? Let's explore the depths of this scenario in the video. Anakin stalks the lower districts of Coruscant, keeping hidden as he follows his prey, a group of gang members who just left a store. In their hands were a case of credits they extorted from the owner. Although he was tempted to confront them immediately, he forces himself to be patient, as they could take him to a far greater prize. As the gangsters move through the crowded streets, they leave and head towards a secluded alley. This is his cue to jump down. Discreetly, he pushes his way through until he reaches a bolted door. A slit opens, and a Gamoran guard peeks through. "I have business with your boss." The guard laughs and prepares to shut the slat, but finds it stuck in place as Anakin keeps it open with the Force. "We can do this the easy way or the hard way." The Gamoran reaches for the slot with both hands and pulls hard, causing Anakin to smile. A few moments later, the hall is rocked as the metal door slams forward, sending the hapless guard slamming against the wall. Gangsters all rush out, carrying blades and blasters. They find Anakin marching with his lightsaber in hand. The guards open fire on him or try to get close with their swords, but the Jedi is like a phantom from hell, moving in total silence as he deflects their shots. Those farthest away are thrown back by the Force, or feel objects knocking against them, while the fools who get close are cut down in a few strokes. Soon, the same gangsters are in full retreat, heading back to the main room as the Jedi follows after them. As they approach the meeting room, the doors suddenly slam shut and the vents begin releasing gas. Anakin pauses as he sees the gangsters coughing and falling to the ground as they inhale the gas. From beyond, the Joker sits on his throne and listens to the coughing as it dies down. He leans on the edge of his seat just as a lightsaber cuts through the door. Anakin steps out and glares hatefully at the Joker, who begins to cackle.
"Why so serious, Annie? Not even Bats has such a big frown."
"We'll see if you're still laughing when I'm through with you." Anakin's lightsaber slashes towards the Joker's chest, but he does a backflip and watches his throne shatter into pieces. In response, the Joker pulls a joy buzzer from his pocket, flicking it on as it crackles with lethal electricity. The Joker lunges, aiming the joy buzzer at Anakin's chest, letting the electricity surge across Anakin and sending him stumbling back. When the Jedi gets up, the Joker holds a blaster to his chest. Anakin raises his lightsaber, but all that comes out is some confetti and a flag that says, "Gotcha." The Joker bursts out laughing and sidesteps another attack just in time to avoid the blade slicing through his purple coat, but missing his flesh.
Close, but no cigar.
The Joker flips backward, tossing a handful of razor-sharp playing cards at Anakin. With a quick spin of his lightsaber, Anakin deflects them all, sending the cards scattering across the room in a shower of sparks. "Enough games, clown!" He extends his hand, summoning the Force to lift the Joker off his feet. The Joker's laughter only intensifies as he's slammed against the wall, pinned by an invisible grip.
"Oh, you're stronger than you look, Annie, but I've got a few tricks up my sleeve."
With a flick of his wrist, the Joker triggers a hidden mechanism in his sleeve, releasing a cloud of green gas from his flower directly in Anakin's face. Anakin instinctively recoils, dropping the Joker as he waves his hand to disperse the gas. The Joker lands on his feet, pulling a toy gun from his coat and aiming it at Anakin's head.
Bang!
This time the blaster bolts are real and forces Anakin to dive out of the way until he can right himself and deflect his attack. With a well-timed counter, he knocks the blaster from Joker's hand. "You're done, Joker." Anakin hurls his lightsaber across the room, the blade spinning through the air toward the villain. The Joker tries to dodge, but the weapon slices through his arm, sending his gun flying. The Joker falls to the ground, clutching his stump, his laughter turning into a wheezing cough.
That is not funny.
Anakin cuts him off by lifting him from the ground and choking him. "I disagree. This is pretty funny to me. But how about you answer my questions before I start taking more of you? Why did you bomb the temple?"
Me? I swear, officer, you've got the wrong guy. I was just here watching the shows. It was that other girl, Barris.
Why don't you explain just how those same bombs had trace amounts of Joker venom? It was impossible to tell with the Jedi, since they were all cremated, but some of the workers' families reported the victims' faces twisting into manic grins as they were being buried. Only one toxin was known to cause that.
All right, you got me. Yes, I provided the venom.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. You're gonna tell me why you did it.
The same reason anyone would do anything. Sheer boredom. You Jedi are so stuffy. I thought you could use some entertainment.
Anakin responds by slamming the Joker against the wall. Rather than frightening the madman, it only gets him to cackle.
Oh, you really don't get it? I suppose I'm not surprised. You Jedi were always so serious. You could never stop and smell the roses. Or the turd, in this case.
What do you mean?
It stinks. This whole planet stinks. The entire Republic stinks. It's rotted to its core, holding the galaxy back from having some real fun. But it's gotten the attention of some bad men. The kind of bad guys you're normally busy dealing with.
Sidious?
You give the boy a prize. That's right, Annie.
And what does that have to do with the temple bombing?
Oh, it's just a test run. He wants to take over, right? Well, there won't be much to rule when I'm through with the capital.
The Joker raises his remote and laughs. Anakin's eyes widen as he begins squeezing his throat. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you right now.
Kill me and you'll never find the rest of the venom. But maybe we can work out a deal.
Snarling, Anakin drops the Joker to the ground, who coughs loudly.
Let's just say my business partner and I both have our reasons to want him dead. And we could use all the help we can get.
All right then. Let's go meet this business partner of yours. He raises his comlink to contact the Jedi Council, but the Joker stops him and wags his finger.
This meeting is something he'd prefer to keep off the books.
The Joker and Anakin secretly depart on a hidden ship as they disappear into hyperspace. Throughout the trip, the Joker reveals little about where they are going, simply laughing anytime Anakin brings it up. When at last their ship exits hyperspace, he sees the pale world of Mandalore. Anakin jumps to his feet.
Mandalore?
This is Darth Maul's territory.
Of course. Who else hates Palpatine more than his former students?
When Joker touches down, he's greeted by a squad of Mandalorian supercommandos, but the soldiers quickly stand down when they see him. Instead, they escort the pair directly to the palace. The pair find Darth Maul waiting for them, his leg draped over one arm of the throne as he casually beckons them forward. Although he seems nonchalant, his eyes seem fixed on Anakin the moment he sees him.
Skywalker, at long last we finally meet.
Maul, so you're behind the Jedi Temple attack?
Oh, yes. I did grant the Joker the green light for that attack. But I am certain you will believe it is all worth it once you hear what I have to say.
Anakin feels his rage building in his chest at those words. That bombing had cost not just the lives of countless innocents, but also cost him his Padawan. His fingers move towards his lightsaber. Maul notices this and shakes his head.
And what are you planning to do? Kill me? Go ahead and return to Coruscant, where you shall escape one Sith Lord, only to enter the clutches of another. Then what would Ahsoka have left?
Anakin's eyes blaze with fury at Maul's words. His hand tightens around his lightsaber, the ice blue blade snapping to life. He charges forward, his lightsaber arcing towards Maul's neck. Maul's own crimson blade ignites just in time to block the strike. The two fighters lock eyes, their faces inches apart.
Impressive, Skywalker. But anger alone will not be enough to defeat me.
With a powerful shove, Maul forces Anakin back, his mechanical legs propelling him off the throne in a single fluid motion. Anakin barely has time to react as Maul launches into a flurry of attacks, moving in a deadly dance. The Jedi parries each strike, but the force behind Maul's blows drives him back step by step. The Joker watches from the sidelines, his laughter ringing through the throne room like a twisted melody.
Oh, this is great. I should have gotten some popcorn.
Anakin pushes back against Maul's relentless assault. He feints a low strike, then pivots and swings his lightsaber in a powerful upward slash. Maul is caught off guard, forced to leap back to avoid losing an arm.
I'm done playing your games, Maul.
With a surge of the Force, Anakin propels himself forward, his lightsaber coming down with all his strength. Maul barely manages to block the blow, but the impact sends him staggering. Anakin presses his advantage, raining down strike after strike. With a growl, Maul sweeps his double-bladed saber low, aiming to take out Anakin's legs. Anakin jumps, narrowly avoiding the strike, but Maul's legs lash out and knock the air out of him. In a sudden, fluid motion, Maul strikes at Anakin's exposed side. Anakin twists just in time, the blade grazing his tunic but missing flesh. The Joker's laughter intensifies as he sees the fight turning more brutal.
Oh, the suspense is killing me. Almost as much as you two are killing each other. Come on, Annie. Show him who's boss.
Ignoring the Joker, Anakin channels his rage into a powerful force push, sending Maul crashing into the wall. The impact cracks the stone, but Maul quickly recovers, leaping to his feet with a snarl. Maul lunges at Anakin, their blades clashing in a rapid series of strikes and counterstrikes. The air around them sizzles with the heat of their lightsabers. Then, with a sudden twist, Maul disarms Anakin and sends his lightsaber skittering across the room. The Dark Lord stands over him, but then pauses and lowers his weapon.
Impressive. I see now why he chose you. Who? Sidious.
The mention of that name sends chills down Anakin's spine. It is so surprising that he trembles and lowers his weapon.
All right. I'll listen. But keep my Padawan's name out of your mouth. Just tell me who the Sith Lord is. Darth Sidious is Emperor Palpatine.
Anakin freezes, as he's too stunned to respond. All he can do is look at Maul, trying to see whether or not he is lying. But then he shakes his head.
No. That's impossible. Is it truly? Ask yourself, what do you know of this Dark Lord?
I know that he's yours and Dooku's master. According to the Count, he is the one who orchestrated this war.
Indeed. And who has benefited the most from this war?
How has the Chancellor benefited from this?
The war has placed him in an impossible position. Every day he has to make the hard choices. The hard choices that allow him to shape the galaxy. The choices that have given him control of the banks, the military, and turned the largest religion into his own personal army. Not to mention advanced surveillance and giving the galaxy a boogeyman to fear. I'm crazy and even I can see it.
The words hit Anakin like a punch to the gut. He stumbles back, thinking of the kindly old man who's mentored him all his life. But now the image of him shifts into the cruel Sith Lord who's been plotting his takeover and killed countless friends.
It is difficult to accept, but the man you knew never existed. It was merely a mask. But now it's time for its wearer to face the end.
The three of them gather to begin their plot. They must overthrow Palpatine, but they cannot risk going to Coruscant, as that is his power base. Instead, they must force Palpatine out of hiding.
There is only one thing a Sith craves: power. And here the Sith are just like the Jedi. They stay in power through order and control.
Both wish to bring stability into the galaxy, because where there is stability, they can accumulate power without attracting attention. That is why Palpatine needs the CIS. They are the controlled opposition. To defeat him, we must be the opposition he cannot control. This is why Maul has spent his time gathering criminals. They remain outside Palpatine's control and can operate even on Coruscant itself. This allows them to strike at the heart of Palpatine's power. Fine by me, but only if the Joker gets rid of his venom. The Joker reaches for his pocket and holds up his remote.
Oh, you mean this?
Anakin rushes over as the Joker hits the button. His eyes widen, but all that happens is a spurt of water from the Joker's flower on Anakin's face. The madman falls on the ground laughing and kicking his legs in the air.
Oh, you should see the look on your face. Do you know how difficult it is to move that stuff? No, our plan is a bit different.
With the rest of the Shadow Collective brought back to heal, Maul redirects their efforts to attacking Coruscant. With the war going on, the civilian population of the capital were feeling the strain as social services was cut and basic necessities became difficult to access. This provided an opportunity for criminals to increase their influence. The Crimson Dawn, Black Sun, and Pikes all begin setting up shop in the capital. Here they found many eager recruits to help their expansion. For the next few months, they would spread their influence. They get involved in all sorts of criminal activity, from the drug and spice trade, kidnapping, protection rackets, and vandalism. Not only that, but they find themselves in conflict with local gangs, turning the lower districts into a battleground for them. Unfortunately, with most of the Jedi and clones spread out, this leaves the Coruscant Guard overextended. This time, Palpatine has no way of controlling things as he doesn't have the opportunity to restore social services. But while he cannot immediately fix the issue, he knows who is responsible. As he goes to meditate, Palpatine focuses his powers and directs his consciousness to Mandalore, where Maul is waiting for him.
Maul. Lord Sidious. I was wondering when you'd come crawling back. Your actions have not gone unnoticed. The chaos on Coruscant, that is your doing. You and your filth. You always did underestimate me, Sidious. But now the people in your precious capital look to me and my syndicates for what they need. While you sit on your throne, they turn to the true power in the galaxy. You forget your place, Maul. You are nothing more than a tool, one whose usefulness has long since passed. You think I wish to challenge you? Oh no, Sidious. This is no challenge. This is an invitation. You've always been a coward, hiding behind your schemes and manipulations. But now the galaxy is slipping through your fingers, and you have no one to blame but yourself. You forget to whom you speak, Maul. I am the Dark Lord of the Sith. A Dark Lord without an apprentice. I know how much you cherish young Skywalker. I've grown rather fond of him since he arrived here. The mention of Anakin's name causes a flicker of something unreadable in Palpatine's expression. Skywalker is mine. You will not keep him from his destiny. Destiny? The boy is lost to you, Sidious. He hates you now. Consider this payment for Savage. One apprentice for another. The skies of Mandalore darken as Palpatine's shuttle descends onto the planet's surface. Ahead of him, looming against the horizon, stands the former Mandalorian palace, now transformed into a nightmarish fortress.
a twisted amalgamation of Mandalorian architecture and the Joker's sadistic creativity. Barbed wire, makeshift barricades, and garish graffiti marks the once proud structure. Palpatine's yellow eyes narrowed as he approached the main gate, which were guarded by grinning jesters. As Palpatine makes his way inside, the door slams shut and leaves Palpatine in silence, until neon lights flash, revealing smiling faces, twisted caricatures, and jagged, chaotic shapes, all painted in bold, clashing colors. The Sith Lord readies his lightsaber as he looks around for his foes. In the nearby corridor, the space is lined with rows of Mandalorian armor, seemingly placed on display, but as Palpatine steps past them, the guards surge to life and raise their blasters. The Chancellor smiles and deflects the first shots, throwing them back with the Force. As they're off balance, the lightsaber flashes and begins cutting them down. Palpatine moves with inhuman grace as he cuts them down without taking a single hit. But as the last one falls, dark green gas begins to spill out from their body. He thrusts both hands forward, driving back the gas and keeping a bubble for him to continue breathing safely as he runs towards the end of the hallway. No sooner does he cross the threshold, childlike laughter echoes through the chamber. Palpatine's gaze snapped to the source, a small, toy-like figure rolling into view. It was a clown doll, its painted face frozen in a grotesque grin, holding a tiny bouquet of flowers. Palpatine's eyes narrow as he tries to crush it with the Force, but the moment his power touched it, the doll's eyes lit up with a sickly green glow. The bouquet of flowers suddenly burst open, revealing a hidden array of razor-sharp blades that shot toward Palpatine with deadly speed. He deflects those attacks and watches as the doll explodes in a puff of confetti.
Oh, Palpy, you're no fun. You didn't even crack a smile. Don't worry, I've got plenty more toys for you to play with.
Palpatine's expression hardened as he strode forward, unperturbed by the Joker's taunts. He reached a pair of ornate double doors at the far end of the chamber, their surfaces marred by chaotic graffiti and scrawled taunts. The words, "Welcome to the party," were scrawled in blood-red paint, accompanied by crude drawings of laughing faces. At the center of the room sat Darth Maul, his red and black face twisted into a smug grin as he watched Palpatine enter. Behind him was Anakin, who kept his eyes fixed on him. The young Jedi stands before him in a dark tunic, but a red rose imbued on his shirt.
"Welcome, my old master. I've been waiting for this moment."
Maul rises from the throne, his double-bladed lightsaber igniting with a hiss. Anakin goes for his weapon, but Palpatine sees the hesitation.
Anakin, you don't have to do this. The dark side has clouded your judgment. You're being manipulated by this pretender.
Anakin's eyes narrowed, but he said nothing.
"He won't fall for your lies, Sidious. Not anymore. Anakin knows the truth now."
Anakin, think of Padme. Think of the Jedi. Do you think they would want this?
The mention of the Order makes Anakin hesitate for a fraction of a second, his eyes flickering with doubt. He thinks of Obi-Wan and the others in the Jedi Temple. But then Maul bursts into a whirlwind of red blades, slashing toward Palpatine. The Sith Lord deflects and holds his ground. Their lightsabers meet in a sudden clash of red and white. Anakin has little choice but to join the fight, taking Maul's side as the two try to surround Palpatine. Palpatine found himself trapped on two fronts. Maul's hatred and Anakin's unbridled power force him to give ground overwhelmingly. Although he continues to parry both their attacks, he cannot keep it up forever.
Anakin, I've always been your friend. I've watched over you since you were a boy. Don't let this monster let you forget that.
Anakin's attacks falter slightly. His emotions run strong, but Maul doesn't give Palpatine a chance to recover. He presses the attack and snarls at Anakin.
Focus, Skywalker. Remember the lies, the deception. He's the reason for this war and the suffering of the people.
With a savage snarl, Maul unleashes a series of rapid strikes, forcing Palpatine back toward the throne. The Sith Lord counters with a powerful blast of Force lightning, sending both Maul and Anakin skidding across the room.
Enough!
As he approaches them, another figure suddenly appears from the side. The Joker cackles and fires his blaster. On his new mechanical hand, he holds up a bomb and hurls it at the Chancellor. Palpatine dives out of the way before the Joker pulls out a water gun filled with acid and launches that next. The ground begins to melt where Palpatine just stood. Snarling, the Chancellor slashes his blaster apart, leaving the acid to splash on the floor. He grabs the Joker by the throat and slams him against the ground. This allows Maul a chance to rise to his feet and charge in again, followed by Anakin. They both surround Palpatine and unleash a fresh burst of attacks. Palpatine turns to face them, meeting their barrage head-on, but allowing the Joker to slip through. He pulls out one of his switchblades and knives Palpatine's thigh. He feels the dark side slipping from his grasp, the power he stole from his master now faltering as he struggled to maintain control.
Hey, Anakin, if you strike me down, Padme will die. Only I have the power to save her.
The words hit Anakin like a physical blow, and for a moment, his resolve crumbles. His lightsaber wavers, and in that instant, Palpatine seizes the opportunity. With a forceful push, he sends Maul crashing into the throne, the impact shattering it into pieces.
Join me, Anakin. Embrace the dark side, and you will have the power to save the ones you love.
Anakin's mind raced, and the dark side reached out to him, pulling him closer as he stared at Palpatine. Then the Joker laughs.
Oh, brother, you fall for that trick. I pull the same sappy line on Harley all the time.
Palpatine's eyes widen in fury as the comment seems to snap Anakin out of it. He turns to the Joker, but Anakin blocks his path. Snarling, Palpatine lunges at Anakin and lifts him off the ground. He squeezes his neck and prepares to choke him, but then the Joker laughs and lifts up a remote. He hits the big red button, and the card on Anakin's tunic begins to unleash Joker venom. Anakin takes a deep breath, but Palpatine doesn't have time to protect himself, and he gasps. Stumbling to the ground, he takes a mouthful of venom. A twisted grin forms on his face as he shakes his head, tears streaming down his eyes. Then he begins to laugh, feeling his body convulsing on the ground as he shudders. Maul, breathing heavily, stands over the fallen body of his former master. Anakin stands beside him, his chest heaving as they stare down at the lifeless form of Palpatine.
Okay. That was pretty funny.
The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.